Whoa! Are we live? Don't know. Can't see. We are live. Can see the countdown. It's Christmas time, everybody. Got the Christmas attire on. Anybody else still wearing their clothes that they got either at Christmas or for Christmas? Maybe it's just me. Don't know. Oh, Ben's here. That's good. Ben's moderating himself in the comment section. So careful, Ben. Otherwise, you'll be kicking yourself out. 5 people on. Hi, Laura. Hi. I've just sort of realised that when you do a live stream, it's just you talking, isn't it? Kind of used to other people being here. So this would just be me talking at you. Hopefully get some value out of this relatively impromptu session I'm going to be doing. How you doing, Laura? Been for a run today? What have you been up to? I know Ben hasn't been running, but we're aiming to go for a run this weekend. So he's saving himself up for that. But maybe you've done a couple of thousand steps today, Ben. Let's do a step check-in in the comments. How many steps have you done today? I think I've done 12,000. So the mechanic's here. Whoa. Is that Jason Statham? He's a mechanic. Catch a 5K. Nice. Run done. That's very cool. When does the dancing start? It's a good question, Ben. It's a really good question. We'll see how we get on. And if things start to go desperately downhill, I'll break some dancing out. And at that point, it'll probably go very downhill. But there we go. Hey, the Running Mind is here. Steve is here. If you are looking for a running coach, want some tips, want some advice, Steve is the guy. Steve, put your details in the chat so people can see it. If you don't already follow the Running Mind, you should do that. Also head over to Instagram and do that as well. But yeah, please do reach out to Steve because he's a great guy. He's really invested a lot in himself, into his coaching in the last 12 to 18 months. And yeah, he's the person to speak to if you're looking for some tips. And it's not just super fast runners, it's anybody, amateur up to pro, just starting out, wants to get a bit better. Steve is the man. Oh, Mark's here. Mark's made it in. Mark G, the test run. Hi, Mark. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining me. And I'm sure Ben will make you feel at home. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. A message been held for review. Oh, well, here we go. Let me show this. Here we go. Right. So there's Steve's details. And please do take the time to go and just follow his Instagram. He also does a really cool free Zoom every Tuesday. 7:30. I was in it this week, and you can just kind of get together, have a little chat. It's about an hour long, and if you want to join in with that, then email Steve, and he can send a link out to you. And it was really, really good. Oh, mechanic, you're not Jason. Oh, that would have been pretty cool, wouldn't it? I'm sure you're still very cool. But I just saw that name. I've not seen that film for ages. Or the Transporter, actually. Let's just talk about Jason Statham films for the next hour. Your favourite Jason Statham film in the chat. So yeah, tonight is just me having a chat, really. Nothing in particular planned. Obviously, feel free to ask questions. And if you want to get to know other people, please feel free to follow their channels as well. A lot of the people in the comments have got YouTube accounts, and it's worth just spend a little bit of time looking at their content, sharing the love. Going for a little run tomorrow. Recently recovering from COVID. Sorry to hear that you had it. I'm pleased to hear that you are recovering. How's it affecting you? You doing okay with it? Have you been sort of taking some time to recover? Are you feeling like you're ready to go now? Ben, what underwear? He's gone straight in with the underwear question. Well, actually, this is pretty much an all-in-one, and it's bedwear. So not rocking any. I don't think that would be appropriate for YouTube this evening. I think that's it's OnlyFans, isn't it? I haven't set one up yet. Maybe I should. Dan runs on OnlyFans. Well, that would certainly pull in some views and money. Lots of money. So what's all about on YouTube, getting those watch hours up, getting that 1K sub so I can completely abuse the ads and then annoy everybody who watches my videos by putting sort of 50 to 60 in a short space of time. Do you hope my hair will look like Jason's when I cut it? Yeah, this is the thing. I kind of feel like when it's time, I'm going to look like a sort of young Bruce Willis. I can guarantee you that's not going to be the case. But hey, you work with what you've got, and I was blessed with brains, looks. Hard to know, all of it. Commando on stream, yep, that's right. Commando on stream. Just in case things get a little bit too wild. Crank. That's a pretty underrated film, actually. Crank. That's a good one. Yeah, Jason Statham. He's been in some good films. Used to be a diver for GB, I think. Full package. Oh, depends who you ask. Miss running, but not able. So just watch YouTube about running. This will be the first since middle of January. Well, I think that's good. I do think that's a good. To be able to get back out there. I've heard of some people really struggling to walk and to kind of make even just general visits to the shops without feeling a little bit out of breath. So if you can really go for a little jog to get things started, I'm sure you'll feel mentally a whole lot better as well. And obviously get that kind of physical journey back up and running. 10 people, double figures for views. That's unbelievable, really, for a Friday night. But this is a great thing about the pandemic. People aren't going out, they're stuck in. And there's not a lot on TV at the moment, is there? Not a lot on TV nowadays. So I thought I'd just go live tonight, just see what would happen. Last time, I think it was about 45 minutes of me just chatting. I don't anticipate it being that long tonight. You'll probably get bored, and maybe I will as well. But I figure, let's go for it. 12. Whoa. This is going to be good for you, YouTube algorithm. Remember to like, share. Oh, it's gone down to 11. It's a bit, back up to 12. Just sit here watching the people come and go. Yeah, my beautiful face on a Friday night. Well, quite. I mean, I say it to myself in the mirror every day. And the more you say it, the more you start to believe it. Hey, Chris is in here. I'm looking forward, as I always do, weekly, to see how Chris's sort of week of running has gone. We are both training for the same event, the North Downs Way 50. And it's going to be a great experience for both of us. And I'm really looking forward to the videos that we've produced, the vlog from the day. We're both really, really hopeful that it's going to continue to go ahead. 250 people in the field. And yeah, it's going to be really, really good fun. So I'm sure you're already following him. But if you're not, it's definitely worth checking out Chris over at Here We Are Running. He does sort of weekly roundup as well as some reviews as well. But my main focus on his channel at the moment is just to see how his week's progressing and just seeing what he's doing in prep for the biggest race, probably for both of us, that we've ever attempted. So we're just a couple of guys doing our very best, and I'm sure we'll be amongst a field of very, very accomplished people. But we will be there, starting line, and we will get there to the finish as well. Long run planned out. Okay, so good question. Obviously, this will be in my weekly vlog, but this week, I went on North Downs Way. I did a little video on that on Tuesday. So because of that, yesterday I was going to go for a little short run. I felt a bit iffy, so I went today instead. I was supposed to be doing 20 miles tomorrow, but I'm thinking of doing 10 miles Saturday, 10 miles Sunday. And if tomorrow goes well, I might even extend that to 13. But I'm trying to do sort of a back-to-back, and I want the second day, the Sunday, to be further than normal. I normally just do about 6K or so, but I'm just trying to introduce this idea of doing a further run on a Sunday, just mentally preparing myself for it. So that is my plan, Chris. I don't know what you're up to tomorrow. The weather looks grim again, but you've got to try something. I'm probably going to keep it flat tomorrow for Saturday, residential, Sunday trails. That's the plan, but it's just so muddy out there, so muddy on the trails. I've got my Gore-Tex shoes now. I'm really thankful that they've arrived and they're working well for me, but it does make things slightly more complex. Yeah, Chris has got a run hub. That's very cool. I'm looking forward to the day where I get to have a little space in my own little office to work out of. Death Race. That's a great film. I mean, quite unbelievable, but then technically it's sort of believable. It's quite a great concept, isn't it? And at the time, I suppose, this whole live stream around the world wasn't as, I don't know, it wasn't as, don't know what the word is, it wasn't as something as it is now. And yeah, people could probably get on board with something like that. I'm not sure about, with prisoners as such, but some sort of cool concept like that. Yeah, cold and windy tomorrow, Mark. Yeah, it's pretty rough. 20-mile pavements, I think that's a good idea. Like I say, that was my original plan, but I thought, yeah, let's just keep it steady tomorrow. I want to have a good week. I put a long run effort in earlier in the week, which I don't normally do. So I just wanted to be kind to my body and not overdo it. I think Chris will probably say the same thing. When you're into the training plan, you just know that final destination of 50 miles is coming your way to your legs, and you want to get yourself as prepped as possible. But I'm just going with the flow at the moment. I'm doing my very best. The main focus is stay injury free and have a good time. And Ben's going to be out with me Sunday as well. So we'll just go explore, have some fun. Some great views out there, nice environment to explore. So that will just be good fun on Sunday. And that's what I found the other day as well. Running on the trails, that time just drifts by. Running on pavements, I find myself looking at my watch quite a lot. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? But the trails, you can just spend as much time as you want there. It doesn't always mean you're running, bit of walking, bit of jogging, but it's a lot more fun. When you're a Vaporfly next percent review, I assume Nike have sent you a free. Unfortunately, Nike are yet to recognise my talent, my ability. I mean, coming sort of 50th out of 250 in your local park run and being beaten by lots of teenagers and people under the age of 10. I don't know why they wouldn't recognise me as a very, very good runner. Equally, sending back the custom shoes I ordered from them, creating sort of parody videos of their shoes. I can see why they probably haven't been so quick to email out getting my postal address. But here's hoping. I've badgered Hoka to the point where they barely acknowledge me anymore. So that's working really, really well. I can see that, the slower Chris is in, that running guy. Super, super duper. Slower and older. But we're pleased to have him here anyway, because one day he will be a masters runner, and we'll all be begging him for a ticket to go and watch him win. And if he doesn't win, we'll probably be unsubscribing. But by that point, he'll have 100,000 subscribers, and he'll be living in a mansion off of the YouTube ad money. So he won't worry about us weak, meager runners at the back. What's going to be your highest mileage week? It's a good point. The thing is, at the end of the day, I'd love to be that person just knocking out 100-mile weeks. There's a little bit of apprehension around that. I won't know until I try, for a start. However, if I try and I cause myself some sort of injury, I'm going to wish I hadn't bothered. But there will be weeks that feature on the long run day a 30-mile long run. So I can assume that throughout the rest of the week, I'd probably be putting another 30 miles on top, so probably 60 miles, 70 miles, something like that. But I really want to focus my attention on the consistent, easy runs throughout the week, and then the long run. My plan is from week 10, so at the moment we're in week 7, week 10 of my training plan onwards, I'm going to be using my long run, hopefully, on the trails and on the ultra course. So the other day, if you've seen my video, that was about 13 miles. What I'd like to do is continue to go back to the start point and then run through to marathon distance and beyond. So if you're familiar with the local area, that'd be Farnham through to Box Hill. That's what I'm going to be doing. Hey, Running Crazy is in the house. What music do you listen to whilst running? It's an interesting question, because when I started running, I used to listen to music all the time, and that was great. And then I just stopped doing it. I'm not entirely sure why I stopped, but I did. Just about the time actually when I spent money on AirPods, which is odd. Even like now, look, got AirPods, not using them. Apple, if you're watching, I would like the newer AirPods, please. That'd be great. And anyway, but when I was running, I would always listen to really heavy music, really high BPM music, so that it would make me run faster. And that does definitely do the trick. If you've seen my ultra video, if in doubt, get Rick Astley out. Very, very important, because he has got me through some particularly dark times out on the trails. And, he never gives up on you. And so that's why it's really, really important to make sure that Rick features on the playlist. I'm sure Apple are watching. I'm sure they have realise I've gone live, and they're probably now whipping around the office just sharing the link. Watch that number of people watching go up. At the moment it's 13. It's probably going to go up to, I would imagine, 14 in the next. Oh, there we go. I mean, literally, there it is. Thanks, Apple. Thanks, Junior. Science on Ultra, how to decide your training volume. Okay, cool. If you can send me a link to that. Is it just called The Science of Ultra? Can I just Google it? Can I ask Jeeves it? Will that help? Can I Yahoo search it? Bing? That sounds really cool. Yeah, the thing is, maybe Chris will be slightly different to me. I have done Ultra before, but that training block, I did my best with what I had. This time around, I want to do a really good job of it, and I've kind of put this training plan together, which I feel works for me. But like I've sort of said, there is a little bit of apprehension about doing too much and injuring myself, and perhaps that's the wrong approach. Perhaps it should just be, go for top out the mileage and kind of see what happens and throw caution to the wind. But at the end of the day, I want to get to the start line. If I don't get to the start line, then I'm out of the game straight away. Science of Ultra is a podcast title. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. I will ask my PA, Ben, to make a note of that. Please, Ben, and I'd like that on my desk in the morning. So Science of Ultra podcast. Thank you for that, James. Really appreciate that, because, I want to do a really good job. I actually reached out to, I don't know if you follow her on Instagram, but I reached out to Susie Chan. Now, she's done some amazing races, amazing marathons, ultra, all sorts. She's been out to Bad Water, that 250-mile race. And I noticed that her name was on the North Downs Way entry list. So I reached out to her earlier and I said, hey, you do North Downs Way. Turns out it was a complete surprise to her. She didn't even realize that her name was on the list. So she may well be running it. But I just asked her for some tips and she just said, it's pretty hilly. So that's good to know. And it does mean that I need to spend more time on the hills, just training my legs up to cope. But more important than that is spending time on the hills when my legs are trashed. So what I will be doing is making my Sunday runs, further down the line, more hilly, so that after I've done my Saturday long run, I'll approach it with Sunday, and when my legs are feeling absolutely annihilated, I will then tackle some hills, because I think that's kind of the only way you're going to get that sense that I'm going to be feeling past probably 30 miles. But if I can do some great long runs, if I can get some good marathon distance, 30-mile long runs under my belt, I should be able to get to that distance hopefully pretty comfortably within reason. And then the last 20 miles, just manage as best I can. But if I use the ultra route to practice up to 30 miles, I should be more familiar with the ups and downs, the parts I can run, the parts I need to walk. And then come race day, it should be kind of second nature, which is what my intention is, because the first time I did my ultra, didn't really do that as well as I thought I had done. It was only on race day I realised I was just a little bit inexperienced on the course. See, we're going for, yes. If I could be a UK Scott Jurek, that would be amazing. In my head, I reckon, I could go out there and run the 50. I realised the other day, even running just sort of half marathon distance, not as swift as I thought. And then when I look at the sort of fastest time on the 50 miler, it comes in about 6.5 hours. So that's traveling at some pace. And obviously you might be familiar as well with Tom Evans. He did the North Downs Way 100, and I think he did that in something like 11 hours. So he was really powering through, but that was more or less his kind of, I think, opening race, and that's the race that people can start to recognise him from. Craig Williams, yes, Craig Williams Ultra. That's a really good channel. Yeah, he's great. He did what was it? He did the Jungle Ultra. He also did the 100 miles, wasn't it? Was it run as far as you can in 24 hours? And he had this idea to run 100 miles. And if you've not checked his channel out, just type in Craig Williams Ultra, and he's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. He's running along a canal path, and it's pitch black. It's mad. A really, really mad video, but it's really well put together. All of his videos are really insightful, and like I say, he says he's an average runner, but he's anything but. He's accomplished a huge amount. But on the flip side of that, I think it's important to note that anybody can achieve anything if they put their mind to it, and he's very driven, which is really, really key. Now, Steve, why do I focus on the ultras? So first marathon, Brighton, wanted to complete it, did it. Second marathon, Thames Meander Marathon, I really wanted to go under 4 hours, and I trained really hard. I had some great practice runs. I felt the fittest I'd felt. On the day, it was one of the, I think, the days with the strongest winds of the year. It was horrible. So on the way back, which is straight along the river, Thames Meander, it goes from Kingston to Putney and back again. On the way back, the wind was just in my face, and I just hadn't practiced in those conditions at all. We had a beautiful summer, and it just killed me. So the 4 hour window just started to drift away from me. I got very demoralized by it. I felt like I'd done a pretty poor job. I got to the end of it and I thought, okay, so what have I achieved here? I was focused so much on the time rather than the experience that actually that second marathon for me, I don't really look back on with very fond memories, because I just felt like I would let myself down. And I figured, okay, what are you going to do now? You can either go at it again, try another marathon, and you can try and get under the 4 hours, or you can maybe sign up for an ultra. So that was in the August of 2019. The Fox Ultra that I signed up for was a 40 miler, and that was in April of 2020. The idea was I was going to do the Ultra in April 2020, use that base mileage, then come straight off the back of that, speed work, and do Thames Meander Marathon again in the August and go under 4 hours. That was kind of my plan for 2020. The Fox Ultra got postponed because of pandemic, got moved to September. Thames Meander Marathon cancelled altogether. So then I'm in this position of like, oh, what happened? What do I do? The marathon's off. So I trained for the Ultra again, second time round, which I also think kind of killed my mojo for it, really. But in training for it, I realized how much I loved it. I just liked going out. I enjoyed the further distances. I enjoyed not worrying so much about time, but more about the environment. I enjoyed the trails a lot more. And my interest in marathons just sort of drifted away. I just kind of figure that if you can, whilst you can, because you don't know how long you're going to be healthy for, you don't know how able you're going to be, try and go as far as you can, was my thought process. And I'd always wanted to run the North Downs Way, and it was actually Chris from Hero Running who tipped me off and said the entrance kind of link is there. He sent it over to me. I signed up that night. Very fortunate to get in before the race filled up. One of the requirements was that you'd run marathon distance. Some races require you to have run more than that, but I was fortunate that a 50 miler, it was just marathon that needed to be done, and I'd achieved that. So for me at the moment, I'm just going to focus on my ultras. 50 miles is probably going to be the furthest I want to go right now, but the dream at the end is 100 miles, just kind of to say I did it. And I'll probably do the North Downs by 100 because I figure I would have already done the 50, so I know what the 50 looks like, and I'll just move on from there. North Downs Way, by the way, runs 138 miles, I think, Farnham to Dover. And there are some people on YouTube who have walked it in sections and camp. It's a pretty cool thing to do. So yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, thank you for linking that, Ben. I really appreciate that. Yeah, and that's the thing as well. I mean, during this process, Ben latched onto us, and it's unbelievable. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. There I am, just enjoying my life. Things are going well. And then suddenly this Ben guy just comes from out of nowhere, and he's just in the comments. He's constantly there. Then he's on Instagram. Oh. And then he wanted to meet up. And that was one of the biggest mistakes, really. Met up with him, exchanged numbers. You know, it's like, I can't get rid of the guy. And then, yeah, and like Chris has said, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. But no, in all seriousness, you know, the great thing about it is this whole experience that we've had kind of in the last year or so, Ben's first ultra, and yeah, he trashed his legs and stuff. But the idea that 3 people who have YouTube channels, who happen to live relatively locally, have met up and kind of formed this great like little running group we've got going on. It's just really, really cool. And that's what YouTube's all about. Having some fun, not taking things too seriously, having a laugh, having a joke, putting videos out there and just seeing what comes of it. And I think when the pandemic's over, there'll be a great opportunity for all of us to just be able to put a video out there. And I will, and just say, hey, if you want to meet up for a run, send me a message and we'll do it. And that'll be really quite a fun thing. We're talking about maybe a YouTuber's challenge as well, a little running challenge we might do. Just putting some kind of ideas out there. I would love to do UTMB. I'd like to get out to Chamonix. I had the chance to go there probably about, how long ago was it now? About 10 years ago. Went out there, didn't really appreciate it at the time, wasn't a runner. It was beautiful, but I didn't really have any idea that I was in kind of this mecca of running. So it'd be nice to get out to Chamonix again as well. Oh, are you really a solicitor or a restraining order? That's great. Yeah, if you could do that, that'd be super. I really appreciate that. Does that include all the social media stuff as well, or is that police involvement? Just want to get it right. I want to make sure that I kind of do this blanket thing, so that Ben is thoroughly blocked from all methods of contact. He doesn't know where I live, I don't think, which is handy. I've changed the locks twice already this year, just in case. But yeah, but in all seriousness, again, like Ben said, I think a meetup would be great. Just something. So, like, here's the thing: we've got our this Oddballs charity ultra. And by the way, if you've donated, this is absolutely happening. But just because of the pandemic, we've not been able to. We can't mix 3 households. Simple as that. And with Ben being injured as well, he wants to take part, and we want it to be a really good experience. So please, if you donated, don't lose hope or faith. It's going to absolutely happen. We just need to do it justice. There's no point in doing something that doesn't feel right. We decided as a 3 we'd do it, so that's happening. But aside from that, we've been sort of talking about what the possibilities of doing, a little YouTube get together, a little challenge, a little sort of running event type thing. We want to make it fun. We want people to be able to just, I don't know, showcase what we're all doing this for, and it is to have a good time. And it's great that we've all got a running journey. And like I've said already, if you notice anybody's name in the comments and you don't already follow them, you should, because everybody's got a journey and it's good fun just to see what people are up to. We're all here to have a good time. And I think certainly when I started running, there weren't that many channels out there for people who were beginner runners or amateur runners. A lot of pros are out there and they've got 100,000 subscribers and they're doing a really good job and they're showing what you can achieve, with training, with time. But there's a lot of people who are your everyday runner who are just out there giving it a go and chasing that dream, chasing that goal down. And everybody in the comments here are well worth following. I think, like you say there, Lee, it would be on the trails. I think that would be fun to be on the trails and make it kind of like a the obstacle course type thing. But at the end of the day, we want to just showcase our love for the sport of running. So that's what it's all about. I do love the trails. It's been really good. So in answer to your question, Steve, it's a very long-winded answer. I think I'll get back to marathons, but I always had the goal to do sub 4. And I think until I've sort of not lost interest in the ultra side of things, but until I can alter my focus and really commit myself to marathons, I think for me it's going to be ultras. And it's a really, really good experience. I enjoyed the experience of the kind of community and the camaraderie of the ultra that I had, which is different to marathons because that tends to just be start to finish, helph for leather, no one's talking to each other, and it is just head down, go, go, go. Ultra is more about having a chat. There was that guy who helped me to scare away the cows because I wasn't able to get through the field. That was genuinely a worrying moment. I wasn't entirely sure how I was going to get past these cows. And then the superhero just came along and just whooshed them away, and we're able to proceed. Funnily enough, that's the same guy who I thought was finishing just ahead of me, but because it was a staggered start, he actually finished 2 hours ahead of me. So that was quite an amusing moment when I checked the results afterwards and realised, oh no, he was actually really quite quick, and I must have slowed him down with my chit chat. Yeah, there are a lot of channels out there with a small amount of subscribers, and it's a shame. It really is a shame, but it depends how you want to approach YouTube. I'm sure we all know what method we could take to get the subscribers up more. It depends if you want to be that person or not. It depends if you want to just share the journey, or you want to maybe be somebody who pushes out content that you don't necessarily believe in, but it's going to get the views, in turn the subscribers, in turn the ads. I think there's a nice way to find a balance. I've got a review on my channel of a bag that I absolutely despise. I think it's got 23,000 views on it. I look terrible in it. It was poorly recorded. It's all blurry. It's an absolute mess of a video. But it kind of proves the point that people are looking for reviews of things, not necessarily looking for one of my hardest efforts I've ever had. Filming my ultra, that journey is for a niche group of people. and I'm thankful that so many of you have watched that and commented on that video. But actually, the reality is, the sub count doesn't always reflect the effort the person has put in, or the person is putting in on the journey. So don't worry too much about that. And they come in time. My subs have, I reckon, tripled in the space of a year, I would say. Yeah, see, Mark, you're doing up to 31. See, but the channel's new. I think it took me about 6 months to get 10 subscribers. If you go back to my old videos, there are very few views on them. They're quite funny, actually. I do look quite amusing. That some of my sort of thoughtful, this is what I think of running. Absolute garbage, what I was saying, but I believed it at the time. Yeah, I know. I should probably just trim that clip, shouldn't I, Steve, of the cows? They're big as well. The cows locally, they're massive. Don't know what they're pumping them full of. Absolutely huge. Yeah, I don't look as confident in that in that shot as I would like. I think I have this high pitch. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Oh, thanks for saving me. And I really genuinely was thankful that he was there, because I had no idea what to do. These cows just staring at me, probably thinking, "Come on then, come on then." So yeah. So what was I going to say as well? I was going to talk about the channel, and I was going to talk about the fact that obviously at the moment on my ultra journey, and I'm really thoroughly enjoying these weekly vlogs I'm putting together, and it's been quite fun. And the process of me putting that together is when I go out, I record it, start to build it throughout the week, and I add different bits and pieces in. If you've already watched my Farnham to Guildford run this week, that won't be in there in its entirety, just a small snippet. It's also a little image of me, or a little shot of me nearly falling on my face, which is well worth sticking around for. I might timestamp it to save you the hassle of having to watch a whole video, but that was a good moment. And yeah, it's just it's a great thing. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the training. I'm really enjoying recording it. I'm enjoying, and so far so good. I've had lots of highs. I am very transparent with the highs and lows. I did have a moment out on the trails today which I didn't really enjoy. Other people sort of frustrated me quite a lot, but that is in there. So me just being being quite honest and reflective. But so far so good, and I'm really enjoying putting those videos together for you, and thank you for taking the time to watch them. I did want to say, and I put it as a separate video, but in terms of me bringing some value to you as the viewer, if there's anything you would like me to include in my videos, anything you would like me to kind of present or do a separate video on, please do let me know, because at the end of the day, the subscribers are building. There is a bigger kind of viewership of what I'm doing, and I would just like to kind of give back. And I want you to feel like when you log on, the videos aren't always the same type of video. There might be something that's maybe you're looking for. If you've just joined me recently, you may not be aware of the kind of videos I've got in my archive, so I can either direct you towards those, or I can film something completely different. I know Susie before from my run things has said to me she wanted weight in a day, so I've done one of those. Somebody asked for some stretching. I don't do a huge amount of that, but I did do a short video on it. I did a video on what my physio told me I should do to build muscular strength in my knees, so that's up there. But don't ever feel like you're being rude by just saying to me, "Oh, would you mind recording this?" I'd really appreciate it. Editing software, I just use iMovie. Yeah, nothing too fancy. I don't have access to, I did used to have access to Adobe Premiere Pro, but no longer anymore. So I'm just using iMovie, keeping it nice and simple. And I use a bit of Keynote as well, just to add in some overlays and such. Hey, Catherine, thanks for joining. Yeah, running form technique. Okay, so that's an interesting one. I don't want to be a hypocrite about this. So when I went to the physio, he showed me my running technique on the video screen. Unfortunately, he wouldn't let me film it, which was a bit irritating. He said I could have a copy of it, but I never materialized. The running form, I did a short video, I think it was of me in the gym, a kind of before and after split, and that should be on my YouTube channel. It's on there somewhere. But I will do a video on running form because I definitely notice when I make an effort to run correctly, I do feel a lot more sprightly. It feels a lot easier for me, but it's very, very simple and very quick for me to just fall back into the kind of lazy running. And I'm trying to definitely get better at myself and remind myself of that. But I can do a little video on running form, at least see my form, and you can critique it. And maybe I could just do it over time. That would be good, because I think, and certainly in terms of this ultra coming up, I need to make sure my form is on point, so I'm not using excess energy or I'm not being inefficient with my movement. But unfortunately as well, unless you've got somebody kind of spotting you and watching you, that can be a bit of an issue. But then if you were here at the start, Steve from Running Mind, he included his details. Now, he's a running coach. He also does work with running form. So if you wanted to reach out to him, in the comments, Steve's details are there. So Steve, that's the Running Mind, and he can give you some tips and insights into how to improve. And if you are local to him, you can do some kind of one-to-one, face-to-face stuff if you feel comfortable, or online. How you doing, Catherine? You've done a good run today. You're normally very accomplished with your running. You've got a nice long run planned at the weekend. If you haven't checked out Catherine, you should do that as well. Check out the channel. And just a little reminder again, for anybody who's just joined us, thank you so much for being here. This is just a random live stream with no real focus, no real agenda, just me chit-chatting and responding to anything that comes up in the comments. But do please follow each other. Oh, thanks, Ben. Cheers for that. Ben is let me just throw some praise Ben's way. He is exceptional at doing all these admin things, finding the links. Just, there might not be much, Catherine, but maybe in the future there will be. So it's just important to subscribe along, just in case that content starts to pick up. Mention next week live stream. Oh yeah. Okay. So you may well be aware, I'm sure you are, that myself and Chris and Ben, we do the Runners Roundup. It's now a podcast, and we've got some really great feedback from that, and the numbers are really good on it, and that's across all channels. So we do a live stream. We've done one on Ben's channel, one on Chris's channel. Next week's going to be hosted on my channel. So it'll be three of us talking. We do have an agenda. I think the last one we did was our best one, and this one I'm hoping is going to be even better again. So I'm going to be streaming it. It's going to hopefully look even more professional than me just kind of webcamming it right now. And if you can, I'd really appreciate you just kind of joining along. If you have any questions for the three of us, message any of us in advance and we'll answer it. We try to, again, bring as much value as possible to people. And because it's a podcast, that reaches people who don't probably even know that we have YouTube channels. That's just the audio for them to enjoy. And we thoroughly enjoy doing it. So please do feel free to stop by next week. Dates and time, things to be announced and all that. You'll see it pop up, I'm sure, if you are subscribed to me and you've got notifications turned on. And yeah, so come along to that. That'll be really good fun. And we'll just kind of chat through some more running things that have come to mind. And it should be a really, really good evening. But if you can't catch it, or you can only catch 5-10 minutes of it, I'm sure Ben will be able to link it for you. It's on all podcasting platforms, and it might sound a bit weird, a bit strange, but actually we listen to it back. So I've taken them recently and said, actually, I'm listening to the Runners Roundup, and it sounds strange that I want to listen to it back when I was part of it, but of course when I'm talking, even like now, I don't know what I've said. Some of the things I've said are probably complete nonsense, but when I listen to it back, I might think, well, that sounded quite knowledgeable there. Well done. So the Runners Roundup is a really good thing. We love doing it. This will be the next edition of it. So please do feel free to check that out. It's quite nice to just listen to in the background as well and just see what our ramblings are. But I would definitely check out the last one we did. That was better, I think, than the first one. Because the first one we were just, putting out there, wasn't sure what was going to come of it, but we've enjoyed doing it so much that we decided to keep it as a kind of regular feature. So that's good. And also the last one we did was a little bit more festive, I think. Thank you, Ben. Thanks for putting that in there. So Catherine, if you go into your settings, you should be able to change the name of your YouTube channel. I know that my one initially wasn't what it is now, and now it is just down runs. So if you go through the settings, you might have to just Google it to double check the places you need to go to, but you should be able to change it to whatever you want, because I know some people have a YouTube channel that's linked to an email address and it defaults to a certain name. Yeah, Lee's a master of it. He's changed his channel name loads of times. Yeah, yeah, genuinely. Again, it might sound very odd, but I would seriously recommend it to people. I think it's a really great listen. I think there's lots of knowledge in there, and it's coming from people who are at different stages of their running. And Chris has got such an amazing background in running. He's got such an insight. And then Ben and I are learning from him. We're learning through our mistakes. We're all on a journey of sorts, and we all share whereabouts we are in our kind of timeline. Oh, well done for subscribing. That's really cool. Like I say, I think it's just important to have that subscriber there. And I always say to people, and I hope Mark doesn't mind, but I kind of said to Mark before, we encourage people to start their YouTube journey because it's great to look back on. You don't even have to put your videos public, put them private if you want to, but record, even if it's a race, a virtual session, record something that you're proud of. You can always just delete it if you don't even like what you've done. You don't have to edit it very well, but I've certainly had a lot of value in being able to look back at that first video in April 2018 and just get a sense of what I was thinking, what I was feeling, where I'm at. And I think it's something you miss out on those moments. I know people, if you liken it to, when we used to go to like a gig, and there were people stood there with their camera phones and the people stood there with recording devices. And a lot of people didn't like that. And I kind of feel like, within reason, to be able to watch it back when you get home and experience it twice is really quite cool. I used to like just kind of capturing those moments. I feel it's the same with my running. Occasionally I will go out and not take a camera if it's not an important session. Now I'm doing my weekly roundups. Of course, I'm featuring all the sessions, but previously, I would just do maybe just a long run or more interesting landscape run. But it is good to at least have it available, and you can decide whether you put it public, keep it private, keep it unlisted, and share it just with your family. It's great. It's really, really great to look back on, which is why I was able to do my reaction video recently, the Brighton Marathon. If I hadn't recorded that day, even as a bit of a shabby attempt at a video, it's great. It's really, really good. Oh, hey, thank you for joining. Yeah, still film your phone. That's like I say, Lee, my iPhone. The only reason why I stopped using the iPhone is because I had a voucher that I got from work, which allowed me to get a GoPro. Otherwise, I would have just continued filming. And my iPhone was an old iPhone. It wasn't even one of the newer ones, which I have now, where the camera quality is awesome on it. There's no reason to have a GoPro. There's no reason to keep things fancy. Actually, recording your phone, you're taking out one device. It's probably going to be a far better battery life. It's going to be far more reliable, and you can upload it to all your social medias straight off the bat. You don't even have to edit it if you don't want to. So what phone are you using at the moment then, Lee? What have you gone with? Yeah. The thing about the editing is it depends what you want to do. I would say that the amount of editing time I spend on my videos now is significantly less than it used to be, because before, when I was putting videos up, I was worried a bit about what people would think about certain things I'd say or the certain angles. I would say, apart from just maybe the last few seconds or the first few seconds of each clip where I just kind of cut it so it's not me dropping the GoPro down or it's not a strange angle, I pretty much leave it as is. Otherwise, yeah, like you say, it can take over. I'm not really in a position to spend hours and hours editing. I don't do as many camera angles, flybys, all of those things as I know that other people do. And that's why if you look at my videos, they're not flash, they're not super exciting necessarily with all the transitions. It's just me documenting my life and documenting my journey. So if you don't want to edit it, you don't actually have to. It just depends how much perfectionist you are and what you want to get out of it at the end. And we all know that, yeah, some cool camera angles, it makes it look more exciting to the viewer. And I apologize if my videos don't look too pleasing to the eye always, but it's just the way I like to film it. And I don't have the time to edit everything in and out as I would like to. Samsung S21, never had a Samsung. Never had one at all. I went from Nokia to iPhone. Didn't even want to get an iPhone. Didn't really like Apple at the time, but there we go. And Laura, it's a good point. Like you say, you do learn shortcuts. I use iMovie, and it's pretty straightforward. Cut, split the images, do an overlay. It's not too dramatic. If you want to just invest a bit of time, so many YouTube tutorials are well on it that if you want to get some quick ideas about how to edit, it's there ready to go. No, I don't. As yet, I've not added pictures of Ben's face. Now, there are little Easter eggs in Ben's videos, certainly the last few. If you go back and view them, if you're not subbed to Ben's channel, yeah, you should. He has hidden pictures of my face. He has also hidden pictures of Chris's face in his videos. So it's a little fun thing you can do whilst watching his videos to look out for the hidden Easter eggs of our faces. And one of them is my modelling shot from back in the day, which he has quite enjoyed circulating online. But I'm yet to put his face in my videos. Although on Sunday, his face will be in my video, probably because he'll be in the same location as me, unless I can avoid him. That could be quite difficult to do because he's really sneaky. No, my GoPro is not a Hero 7, actually. Is it? Well, it might be. I think maybe mine is a Hero 7. I don't know, Chris, is mine a Hero 7? Not sure. I think it is. Yeah, I have 2 batteries for my Ultra. Thanks, Ben. I don't know what I've got. For my Ultra, the 40 miler, I took 2 batteries with me. I only used 1 battery. Weirdly, it was absolutely awesome all day. But added to that, it is not the original battery that got sent with GoPro. It's actually a GoPro battery that I bought on Amazon, and the battery life on it is far superior. So I use that instead, and I've not actually had any issues at all. I used it the other day, filmed about 40 minutes worth of content for that Firearms of Guildford video. I got it down to about 20, 22 minutes because I was just kind of filming different pieces and I wasn't sure how I wanted the video to look. But yeah, it's been absolutely superb. So I do have 2 batteries. SD card's a big SD card. Occasionally you get that SD card error thing on the GoPro. I don't know why that happens, but I know it's quite a common thing. SD card error, take it out, put it back in. Gymshark have not been in contact yet. I think the issue is I'm yet to put a shirtless picture up on Instagram. A lot of their models have a particular look about them. So Gymshark, the golden ticket I got from Hella Good. Hella Good is the first and only, I think, well, I say and only, he might not be now, but he was the first runner to be endorsed by Gymshark. And so that's how that kind of came about. But I think he has had some input in the Gymshark lines of late coming out because he knew all about the speed line quite far in advance of when it was even announced or released by Gymshark. So that's quite interesting. Do some great clothes for running, that's for sure, but nobody has yet endorsed me. You can be sure, though, when I do get an endorsement, you will be the first to hear about it because I will be promoting it shamelessly everywhere I go. I think the issue is my numbers. They say it's not about the numbers, but I'm pretty sure it is. Not even these looks can get me in the door at the moment. Like they say, the most I can get is a like on my social media posts. And you can see how hard I try on my Instagram. It is like my modelling portfolio. Even the modelling agencies have stopped messaging me. So. It's okay. Have Manscaped been in touch? No. Are they sponsoring everybody? Oh, what's the cringe advert? Oh, great. That sounds fun. Oh, maybe as a joke we could try and, yeah, send them my way. That would be fun. I did do some before in the past. They're on my Instagram. If you scroll down quite a long way, there are some videos of me doing, sort of turn to camera. I did it as a laugh. And I can't remember what the product was now. Yeah, I can't remember what the product was, but it was quite a ridiculous thing to do. Laura, this is not a Christmas jumper. This is a Christmas top. I've also got Christmas bottoms here. The thing about Christmas this year was it was a bit lame, wasn't it? and no one really got to see this. So I just figure, I bought it, I'm going to wear it. So yeah, these are a couple of polar bears. You've got some Christmas lights. This one's got some Christmas lights around its neck. A bit sadistic, but there we go. And yeah, so Christmas all year round in this household. Yes, VPN. What about was it Join Honey? That's everywhere at the moment. That's frustrating. What else? Adverts. I was watching Chris video the other day, that running guy, and I even put a comment on it. The advert that came up has actually happened twice now. Durex. So I know that Chris has been working hard to build that sort of brand link up, and it looks like he's secured it because they seem to be plaguing a lot of his videos. Hey Seth, thanks for joining. Thank you very much for coming. Hope you're doing well over there. Hope you're keeping safe. So yeah, it's really interesting with the YouTube brands, sponsorship deals, all of those kind of things. It's, you know, you've got to have the numbers, you've got to have something, you know, that is, I suppose, captivating as well for people, for brands. So the Gymshark thing, I love the clothes, really, really cool. I don't necessarily think that there's going to be you know, a huge uptake in them signing me up right now, but you know, in the future. Yeah, see. Yes, Seth has joined us. We really appreciate him being here. It's absolutely awesome. The OG, absolutely. Seth is just superb. I know Chris the other day put an Instagram post on his channel, on his page, Instagram, and he was just talking about runners who inspired him. And when I first started my running journey, it was him who I was looking to. Harry runs, hella good. They're running with Mark. They're the first 4 people that I really took inspiration from. So obviously you don't need to know about subscribing to Seth's channel, but if you go back, talking 2 years ago, and some of the work he was doing early on, which a lot of people haven't seen because a lot of people who know Seth now, but back in the day, some of the videos he was recording were just really inspiring. I love the way he did it, and it kind of had that Casey Neistat feel about it as well, which was quite cool. But he's just got, I mean, he is a brand in himself, absolutely fantastic. So he was somebody who early on, when I didn't really have too much direction of what I want to do with running, I was looking at what he was doing. I just liked, it kind of appealed to me. And even like recently with like Ben Parks, I started following a little bit later into my running journey, but I start to go back. It's really, really interesting. If you have time to do it, pick your favorite YouTuber, pick somebody who's inspired you, go to the videos. Oh, hey, Ditch Runner, thanks for joining. And then just sort by oldest. And you go back and you see those vlogs where maybe 50 people, some of Seth's vlogs, especially back in the early days, not a lot of people have watched them. They're the ones you want to watch because they're the kind of the raw, unedited. Nobody knew who he was. He was just doing things that, you know, kind of from the heart. So I would really recommend that. If you do have any spare time in your day, pick a YouTuber that you really like, go to oldest video first, take a little look at it, drop a comment. And yeah, so Ben Parks recently, I went back and I binged probably 4 or 5 of his videos, the ultra ones, just to kind of see. And he had a few DNFs and he was really struggling. But for me, I like those kind of videos because I think as channels evolve and, you know, you have some accountability to subscribers, there's it's natural that you'd have to shift slightly in what you're doing. But Seth stayed pretty true to everything he started out doing, and his old videos are definitely worth watching. Chat's going to blow up. Whoa, we're up to 20 people. That's absolutely amazing. Yes, Seth, like I say, watching as 2019. I think if I go to kind of the people I'm subscribed to, I'm pretty sure he was one of the first people I subscribed to, because he was just doing something that I could really connect with, and I just love the kind of the family feel about it all as well. And that's nice because I think it depends how you want to play YouTube. If you want it just to be strictly one type of content, that's totally cool. If you want to appeal to a broader range of people, then bringing the family is great as well. Just catching up on the chat. Yeah, Ben is absolutely flying along with the mod work. Oh, you see the My Vegan ones? Oh, not seen that. Yeah. Yeah, he's Seth at 15k subs. I feel like he was definitely below 10K when I watched him. Definitely below 10K. But also at the time wasn't really aware of what YouTube was as such. I was just recording a couple of videos and put them up. Same with Kofuzi as well. I started watching his videos back in the early days. He actually subscribed to me. I have to double check the date of it, but he subbed to me a long time ago, year and a half ago, maybe even longer, which is quite incredible, really. And so, yeah, again, you just kind of value people's time, don't you? And it's nice that Seth take a little moment of the day to pop in, as it is with all of you. We're all on a journey here, and I value every single one of you. So thank you so much for taking time to just come here tonight and listen to me ramble on. Like you say, Steve, it's just good to go back and see what people are up to, and that's why I go back on my channels as well. Just my channel. I go back and look to see what I've been doing. So Christmas, here we are running it. Probably about a month ago, I went back to watch his Brighton vlog, and that actually kind of made me think, oh, my Brighton vlog, wonder what that looks like. Because I also looked at Donato's as well, because he did a really cool Brighton vlog. Great beard he's got. But again, those are the videos that I watched. Those are the videos that made me think about how I wanted to record some of my races. It's just unfortunate that the Brighton vlog was filmed on my phone and not done so well. It's my first marathon. I did the best I could with it, but could have done a better job of filming it. Vegan runner, yeah. So the vegan runner, I watched a few of his videos back in the day. Then he started really ranting at the camera, and I wasn't entirely sure what was going on with it. And then he was like shouting at his brother in one of the videos, and it was a little bit odd. But I know that he does push out a huge amount of content, following races, recapping, reacting to. I don't know if I was ever subbed to him, but I knew he used to appear in my kind of the YouTube feed at the start when you used to get, well, you still do, I suppose, but when you get those regular views or viewers of so-and-so channel, watch this as well. But yeah, he's changed from vegan runner to runner. He's no longer vegan. Yeah, Catherine, I mean, I just don't really get it myself. He just always seemed a bit angry and a little bit unhappy. But don't know the guy. And I think when I also used to watch him, he used to do quite a bit of running, and he filmed one of the videos. We put like a camera and he filmed him running around the track. But again, each their own. He's doing very well. He's got a huge number of subscribers, and his videos draw massive amounts of views. So I think he's probably doing well financially off the back of YouTube. But hey, there we go. You know, I say most of my videos are filmed just here, nothing too flash about them. Yeah, the reviews of races, like you say, I can't really knock them. He's just, I think, got his little niche there. He's working really well. I'm not entirely sure how that works with copyrighted content, because presumably he's taking them from feeds that already exist. I don't know how that works, but yeah, he's doing something. And yeah, it's a kind of content which I think if I knew a little bit more about running, if I knew the athletes, I'd feel a bit of a fraud trying to talk over an Olympic trial race when I knew very few of the people who are actually running and the kind of history behind it. But he does a great job. Does a great job of it. So good luck to him. Good luck to him. I think the running community on the whole, I've never really had any issues. I don't know what you feel if you've got your own channel, but I've never had any problems with people with comments. Generally, all very positive, or just great critique, which is really helpful. And I've never felt like I should be worried about putting up any of my videos. Of course, you can always just delete the comments anyway, but I've never had to do that. It's always been really, really positive. Yeah, the copyright, I just don't know. I don't know, unless he just has a copyright strikes and maybe the people approve it, because obviously if it's their content, they have the choice to either approve or deny. I know that one of Tom Evans' Ultra videos, it's a really great video, but if you watch it back now, it's got loads of blank moments in it because the audio's been, there's a copyright strike against it, so the audio's been removed from the video. So it's really kind of intense watching him running. It might be his 100-mile attempt, or maybe it's some training, and then it's just this pause. and the comments, more recent comments, are basically said like, it's such a shame because the music builds up this big kind of pinnacle moment and it just dies. There's just nothing, where he's obviously chopped and swapped different tunes out. Oh yeah, Chris did get some flack for his math. Math is it's a bit of a Marmite thing for whatever reason. People are either really on board with it or hate it. I'm open-minded about everything. I just I like to watch videos and I'll try something different. If it's working for people, I like to try things out before I judge. But there's some people who seem to really be bothered about math. But there was also the lovely lady, of course, who likes to comment with a timestamp and a little link to her website. I've been to her website and there's nothing related to running on there. I did check thoroughly, but it is simply nothing related to running. Sub-3 marathon off math. Well, there we go. That's very cool. That's very cool. There we go. It's obviously working for some people. Anybody else having that little lady comment like 0:26? I always click it and I think, I don't know why you've picked that timestamp. Single exact, yeah. Like I say, I mean, the web links, worth exploring. Some visuals there, but nothing for me, unfortunately. 15-second clips. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I was when I did my Brighton one, I was wondering whether I would get a kind of a flag on my account to say that my video had been used, but I didn't get that at all. And I used that entire video unedited, and it just sat there and played through. And also, it's got quite a lot of music in there, and it's never been flagged up. But again, it might be to a subscriber count. Maybe if I was over 1,000 subscribers, that may cause a little trigger in something. But yeah, there we go. So yeah. That's why click on those dodgy links. I like to support people, Chris. I'm sure she's had a tough day. She's just trying to get her content out there, and it'd be wrong of me not to at least acknowledge. I mean, if you look at those videos and I've got those comments, I always ask politely, please at least subscribe. This is not a situation where it is all ask. You've got to give first. Give something back before you request something from somebody. But hey ho, maybe she at least watched the video and has some tips for me on my form. Who knows? Yeah, comment, like, subscribe. People were saying share for a while, but is that something we've stopped doing? I don't know. I don't tend to remember to say comment, like, and subscribe all that often. Okay, guys, girls, everybody, those commenting, those watching back, we've gone over an hour. Absolutely superb. Nuts, really. Totally random Friday night Insta live, YouTube live, doubling up. Things are going well. Actually, no, we're not, because I realized that I didn't press go on Instagram live, so it doesn't really matter there. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. We'll do these occasionally, just for a bit of fun. Next time I won't be as festive, but yeah. Please, a little reminder again, reach out to Steve if you want some tips on running form, coaching stuff. I really support what he's doing, and he's a great individual. So say hi to everybody, follow everybody, sub to everybody, like to everybody. And yeah, I really hope that you have a superb rest of the evening. Love you all, and I will see you all soon.